Hi everyone, very good morning. Welcome to our 9 a.m. class where we discuss verbal ability questions, discuss grammar, and we discuss vocabulary. So we learn close to 100 words in less than 15 minutes, grammar concepts, and how to manage. Why we do grammar and vocabulary? Because grammar and vocabulary are the founding blocks of help you gain skills, knowledge, and confidence to crack CAT. So, basically, what we've done, we are taking some words every day. We are taking grammar concepts in order. Um, Verbs. However, this is an exhaustive class. This is just, there can be many topics. Yes, but we will come back to it. The official run, uh, and we pick up some new words every day. Try to give synonyms, to it. Talk about those words a little more that they sort of think in or they relate to it in picture. So that is how it is. And apart from that, we will discuss some verbal ability question. So 10 questions from verbal ability, that is parajumble or paraformation, odd one out, then guess summary, read the paragraph. Four sort of questions have been asked in the last 5 years, each varying in numbers, say para summary. There are three questions, parajumble, three questions, odd one out, and complete the sentence. So let me just we've been discussing this parajumble. We have just discussed we have best summary, and we are right now discuss the paragraph probably on. We will come back to it. We will keep doing revision every day. Too many cycles of every topic so that you are very thorough with. Um, my agenda is just to give you an overview, just give you sort of a booster or a confidence or add to your knowledge, and at the same time direct your energy towards the actual chat. So there is a verb question every day, and there is reading comprehension which we do separately at 2. So right now it is Tuesday to Friday, but it's also going to do the same way the coming week, but mostly from week next week we'll be starting from Monday, Friday. That is the plan here. Remember, we're solving actual CAT questions every day, solving the kind of words which have been asked in the top MBA across the country. 2020, right? So this series is helpful both for people who are preparing for CAT 2020 and who are preparing for CAT 31 as well. So like that. And you can see the kind of hard work we are putting in, the kind of punctuality which we have. So you can sort of effort which goes into. You can also imagine the kind of effort and the kind of due diligence which we have done for our privileged material. That is when you subscribe to Academy. By the my name is Anupam. To stay in touch, you download and install on Academy. Go to Plus Cat and subscribe. So So I was saying that if you subscribe to any of these 5 offerings which offer to you, 24 months, 12 months, 5 per month, 58 per month, for 12 months, I think this is going to make a lot of sense. Would tuck, tucks in a 10, you will get discount on behalf of this, on the basis of the subscribe. And so there are a number of possibilities within every question, live classes, sessions, test series. It's amazing. If you also say it's very cost effective. So yeah, coming back to whatever we discussed. So a lot of words which will come up may not be written here. They will come with those words probably. So look at this word benign. First word benign. So ben is basically a root word which good, kind, or gentle disposition, neutral, harmless, innocuous. You can say that say the benign presence of the nurse helped the patient uh, re- recover faster than usual. Benign, like the gentle disposition, neutral. There's a harmlessness around. People have that sort of touch. Doctors, some faculty, people in social work, people in family have that. Benison means blessing. Benison means blessing. Benignant means kind and desirable. Somebody who is compassionate, whom somebody has, who is good-hearted. Then there is beneficence. Beneficence means act of goodness, alms, benefaction, philanthropy, and antonym will be barbarity and barbarousness. So when you say benignant, it means again somebody who is very compassionate, very good-hearted, very kind, and beneficence is act of goodness. There is there are alms, there is faction, philanthropy. Antonym is so beneficence is actually a it's a it's same as philanthropy, benefaction. And antonym will be barbarity or barbarousness. Next comes benevolence. What is benevolence? Disposition to do good for others. It's a boon, it's a courtesy, amity, brotherhood, beneficence in fourth week. So a lot of words will repeat here. We discussed earlier, which we'll discuss on. In benignancy, benignity, all these terms will keep. So this is just a way to connect you to so many other words so that you have an understanding of what words have this sort of synonyms. Position others, boon, it's a courtesy, uh, brotherhood, amity, beneficence, benignancy, benignity. Antonyms is barbarity and barbarousness. Then comes 10th, benediction, prayer. So benediction is a prayer. Synonym is benison. Antonym is anathema or curse. So benediction basically means prayer. Synonyms are benison. Antonyms is anathema or curse. So basically, when you say that it's a benediction, it's a prayer. It's a somebody prays for somebody else, and benediction can be a anathema or curse is directly. 11th is Ben benedicite, which means blessing, a grace said at the table. So grace said at the table. Benefactor, a person who gives money or other help to a person or cause. Fairy godmother, patron, or so basically benefactor is a person who actually gives others some sort of a help. Say if a person uh, spelling the sorry the spelling was correct. The F fairy of F was little. So benefactor is a person who helps in good causes for a cause. For example, if there is somebody who is traveling for people give money, help others. Basically, it is an act of goodness. It may not be done charity or something. Is done in good faith. Patron. One more thing, fairy godmother doesn't only refer to the feminine gender. Male also can. Another term which is guardian angel. Guardian angel. It's a very it's an American term with movies that this person is sometimes so in like in any society, one uncle or one aunt sort of looks after or has a uh, have a uncle or aunt like him that out to them. These people like them, they're the guardian angel of this child or that child or guardian angel of say n number of kids. That is the fairy godmother. Benedict is a bachelor who recently married. That's known as Benedict. And then comes benefactress, woman who supports other individuals. Again, so this benefactress is a gender sentence. Benefactress is only referred to a factor as a term can be used in a neutral way. So let's just go again once. So benign has a very gentle or very kind distinction. Benign presence of somebody, benign words of somebody, um, benign image of somebody. Venison, blessing. That benignant is a person who was benignant, his benignant presence and of was benignant acts, soul, that benignant soul, compassion, and good-heartedness. Then things like beneficence. Beneficence is again a philanthropy. So what is philanthropy again? Philanthropy is the is again can be said charity, but philanthropy actually comes from the word phil plus anthropy. Phil means love, and anthrop means human being. So if a person is loves human being, she is doing things to make the lot of you better. That is, then there is an antonym part which is known as barbarity or barbarousness. So bar- barbarity is again this is an opposite. So on the one hand is that when you help others out of the way, it's not required. Philanthropy, a person who is rich, a person who has means apart from his own, he or she donates some part of the money for the good cause. He or she never uh, tries to, will try to help us others for salvage. There are so many foundations, so many NGOs, so many uh, uh, IT tycoons or tycoons, business tycoons do some sort of a good work. Like there are a lot of foundations made by the top IT companies in India. All of them run very CSR campaign. They also as a one of the top IT uh, executives and founders and CEO company made in this country has donated a large part of health, or that's how it is. So, but an opposite sense will be barbarity. When you sort of do when you barbarity is cruelness. When you, so on one hand you help others, you donate whatever you have, cause help them. But then opposite is being cruel. Then comes benevolence, position to do good for others, but to see gain or barbarity, barbarous act of any benevolence or the benevolence showed by certain system. Look at the other notes, amity, courtesy. So this is a vocabulary. And let's come to verbs. So remember, this is the second class of verbs. So we have discussed verbs other. Those who haven't seen, go and see the video. We'll also attach PPT for video. PPT is should. So where do we use so verbs? So why are we studying grammar? We're studying grammar because this is very helpful for you to improve your basics in sort of a if a word comes, if a sentence comes, wherein there is usage of should and ought, and somewhere a final understanding between should and ought is going to help you in then this sort of this knowledge very much. So it is used when we're talking about an obligation that a person is supposed to as a responsibility or that that government should do should help the poor. It's expectation or it is a responsibility of the government. Or if I say that if a mother is telling a child that you must rise early every day, so this is something which you expect of a child, somewhere a responsibility of the person. So and Should can also be used in informal cases. You take between friends also. That I think you should play better tomorrow in the games. Two players are telling each other. If two friends are saying that you should come on time, give me a time, should reach the venue at time. So on time. Uh, so this should is basically something which person is expected to uh, expected of, and there is know it, it may not be a very formal setting. It may not come from a very top down approach, coming from come from a even person lower in station, social station, can say it. For example, a child can say to a mother, or an employee can say to us that, okay, I think that you should have weekly meetings with me. A child can say to a mother that I think that you should uh, prepare breakfast before 8 every day. So uh, it is something which is expected of others, and it's said irrespective of the social state as expected to do it, or it's part of the responsibility. So this is how it is. Uh, some people also confuse should with shall. Should and shall are not related. So remember yesterday, shall and will are related. Shall and will are they're used interchangeably. First person, and will is used apart from being the first. So will and shall use when we have surety or guarantee about something. But should is used when we think that the listener, receiver, is an obligation, duty, responsibility, or expectation, or something is expectation, is something is expected of him or her. Ought. Ought is used when there is an obligation to do something, more formal and assertive than should. So I have made a handwritten note as this. Uh, ought, it is used when there is an obligation to do something, more formal and assertive. So, say a friend. So if share with a friend that, okay, you're not doing well at not now, then okay, I think you ought to work hard, right? You ought to uh, pull up your socks. When they say this, boss conversation, I think you ought to work. When there is an obligation, something, it is more formal and assertive than. This is how it works. Uh, ought is a little more formal and more. It ought being used in formal setups, and it is not used in friends. It ought more effort assertive than should. Uh, then must. Must, it is used when we talk about a scenario in which a person's superior authority at family, education, ask a person to do something without fail. So must is a very, must is again, it's a very assertive modal verb usage. If a person is using must, and the person first of all, the chances are that the person will be having a slightly higher station. or definitely she is going to have a high station with respect to the listener, receiver of the, and uh, they can assert that okay, that you have to do something without fail. Then they use must. So I think in this way, must, let's uh, so Rohini said to her son, "You should rise early every day." So yeah, it's expected of I rise early. He said to her son, "Ought to attend school every day." Yeah, it is more assertive. It is more form. That said to her, "You must finish lunch." This is something which must happen without fail. So must school and every day. That's happen every day. But look at from a culture standpoint also, you look at that the mother is insisting the son to you must finish the lunch every day. They allow that you should, no two ways about it. Not to attend school every day. Examples. Uh, then comes your if conditionals. If conditionals are again very, if conditionals can also be very helpful. Understanding what is the tone of the, if you see uses like this, simple present plus simple present. How? If water is boiled at 100 degrees, one moment, I'll check. If water is heated at 100 degrees, there is simple present plus simple present. This is used when you're talking about facts. When you're talking about which is going to happen. So if if you are given two options A and B, uh, you choose either of them. It's something uh, which will happen, no doubt. It's a fact, known fact. Water is heated at 100 Celsius, boils. Simple present, water is heated, it boils again. Then comes first conditionals. First conditionals is, this is surety. There is some guarantee or surety about. If Jane works hard, she will pass the typing test. So there is a surety, or there is a guarantee that if Jane works hard, she will pass the typing test. Now, if you see what happens, there is a simple present plus will usage. If Jane works hard, she will pass the flying test. There is again a surety here, but it is not confirmed like we were seeing in the earlier PPT, that it says that if water is heated at 100 degrees Celsius, it boils. It is not a fact, but there is a very high chance, there is surety, there is guarantee. Hence we use will. Remember, will and shall are used. We discussed yesterday in modal verbs. Will or shall are used when there is surety, when we are confirmed, when we are really sure about something. Then will and shall are used. Uh, so this is how it is. Okay? If I work hard, I will become an engineer. If if Rina works hard, she will become an Air Force pilot. So something of that sort. When you are surety of this, but it's not a fact. They called first conditionals used for surety. Usages simple present plus will usage. Then comes second conditional. So it's 0, 1, 2, and 3. Zero conditional, first conditional, second conditional, and third conditional. Second conditionals are, there's a case of imagination. Imagine something. If Jane were the PM, she would turn the economy into an unforeseen success story. It says that if Jane were the PM, she would turn economy into an unforeseen success story. Uh, Again, if you see, there is verb plus would usage here. That it is used for something which we know for sure that it is it's not going to happen right now. It cannot happen now. In the present conditions, but we imagine it to be. It's impossible in present, but we imagine it to be. Right? How and why? Uh, if I say, if I were the the school headmaster, I would cancel all examinations for next 1 year. You imagine that if you were in that situation. If I were you, I would not speak to him or her. If I were you, I would take the following action. If I were you, I would not take the above action. So, second condition is a case of imagination. Maybe imagine that if we were in shoes of somebody else, we would do these were plus would. Sometimes simple past is also used. Sometimes, but basically, if you're talking about imagination, then was becomes or all. Next comes third conditionals, unfulfilled desire of past. If Jane had been my instructor, I would have become. This is again a, if Jane had been my instructor, I would have become. In something we should understand, that if you have an unfulfilled desire of past which was not fulfilled previously, you say uh, that if that if that if uh, that if this that some particular thing, I would have done it in that age, I uh, I I I would have become, would have achieved certain. It's something which you cannot go and change. It's something just happened in past, which is frozen in past. But you would think that if that particular activity had happened or had not happened, then the future course of actions from then, the present conditions would have been different. The present circumstances would have been. That is the thing. If had been plus would have. Jane had been my instructor, I would have become an army. If I had worked hard in my in engineering degree, I would have become a software programmer. If I had worked hard at sports in school, I would have reached uh, Olympics. This is the sort of, you are having an unfulfilled desire of past, think that something that if an event could have been altered, if something would have been altered in past, and then the future course of actions had been plus. Yeah, this is your verbal question in front of you. What is the question taken care of? Now, now we come to the last part of our we'll discuss verbal ability, odd one out, and we'll try and improve our skills here. Okay. So this is one of the questions which came in CAT a couple of years back, and remember what we had discussed yesterday. Try and understand the theme of the passage. Try and find the pairs. Uh, Try and understand which line will come after which line. Okay? And if you're able to form, if you're able to unscramble or unjumble this in front of you, then your work is. So it says that translators are like bumblebees. Translators are like bumblebees. So first time we think that bumblebee is again a bee. It's a variety. Even if we haven't heard about bumblebee, we are sure about that. Okay, possibly translators are human being, but in some way they are being compared to bumblebee. Or translators are a sort of a insect or a variant of bee, which we will read further about. So there are two doubts here, right? Let's come further down. Though long since scientifically disproved, this factoid is still routinely trotted. So this is talking about some fact which is coming out routinely. Uh, Probably we can find something about it. Three comes similar pronouncements about the impossibility of translation. Mean dodged have dodged practitioners since Leonardo Bruni's the Lecture published in 19. He's unaware of these deliberations have continued to split from flower to flower. Procedures. 5 says in 1934, the French entomologist Auguste Magnan to pronounce a flight of the bumblebee to be aerodynamically impossible. So, see, 5 and 3 are connected, because in 5 the this line says that some French and entomologist said that the flight of bumblebee is not possible. He says that similar pronouncements have been made about the impossibility of the translation. This 5 and 3 are. Then 4 also comes after it, because it says that B is unaware of these deliberations, have continued to flit from flower to flower, and translators continue to translate. So this, uh, 5, 3, 4. So in that way. Uh, then one is also related that translators are like bumblebees. Then 2 comes. So 2, if you see, though long since scientifically disproved, this factoid is still only touted. Uh, which fact they're talking about? See, there are no facts, right? They just said that the flights are aerodynamically disproved. Similar idea has been mentioned in 3, right? But the fact that that bumblebee or translators flight amazing, or it's amazing, it's best, or it's aerodynamic amazing, it's very good. This fact was not mentioned. Just what they were saying, that the flight of the bumblebee is aerodynamically. He also says that 4 says that they have continued to from spread from flower to flower, and translators continue to translate. So saying that this factoid is still routinely trotted out. Which factoid they are talking about? One thing, because there was no fact told initially. Only they told that this statement was it. The fact what was made was that certain scientists have said that the bumblebee's flight pattern, or the physics of the science behind it cannot be explained. It is aerodynamically impossible. That means still to understand something about the bumblebee's flight, or we are yet to understand something about the aerodynamics itself. There are 2 cases, but nothing of this sort was written here. All right. So this is again also one more thing. Uh, it doesn't make sense to one that when they have mentioned here in line number 5 that it is not possible, in 3 they have uh, said that similar uh, pronouncement have been made since 15th century onwards, right? What is the need of having in such a short paragraph? What is the need of having one more sentence talking about it? Though long since scientifically disproved, this factoid is still ruled out. Which factoid there? Oh, this again doesn't make sense. So it is somewhere again not related to the topic. We don't see any keywords here. Also, when we're talking about such a small paragraph, small closely knit paragraph, a line of 4 lines, then words repeat. There's some common words found in every sentence. Second one doesn't fit the bill, and in terms of the fits the bill as an odd one out, but it doesn't fit the bill as a part of the entire long paragraph in front of us. So so this is how it is done. Let me come back tomorrow and let us detail about other things. And I promise better content, more interesting video. Very much. Unacademy subscription offers you live classes. You get chat with educator, live polls, leaderboard, test series, analysis, live doubt sessions. Stuck very much. Let's meet at 2 p.m. and let's solve some reading comprehensions.